What's going on, everyone? This is Eric, and welcome to another season of Crown Basketball Analytics. And again, it's my pleasure to help Chris out with this project. I've been helping him out now, what seems like only a couple of years, but maybe it's like 3 or 4 years already doing this for him. So we're going to do this for you guys as well. So again, a little bit of history on this project and my involvement with Crown. And I won't do this before every video, but I think it's important to discuss where this came from. So, as you may or may not know, I used to coach. I had a son and I had other teams as well. I still have a son, my who played, and coached his team, a couple of others, and I really took a very analytical approach to my coaching based on my background, which involves a lot of different number-based uh, uh, endeavors, which you can feel free to Google if you are so inclined. Nonetheless, after I stopped coaching, Chris, who was our skills trainer, he was running his teams, obviously, and I wanted to give back and help him in some way though I can't be there to, coach full time or even assistant full time, I decided that I was going to help him out with my pet project, and that is kind of teaching the entire universe how basketball is supposed to be played from an analytical perspective. The idea that people and coaches are not exactly setting their kids up for success based on the way results distribute. And I know that's become pretty well accepted in the NBA now, but even in colleges and in high school, I see teams that just don't quite understand how important it is to take good shots and to realize what good shots are and how to approach that. So I started doing this for Chris's teams, and I'm going to continue to do it. But what's interesting is that where it started as a project where I wanted to just teach coaches how to do this, the parents and the kids became very, very interested. So I'm trying to direct these videos at the coaches, but also now towards the kids and the parents. So hopefully you guys learned something from this. It doesn't get too far into the weeds, but again, that's the way it's going to be. The other thing that you'll notice is that since I'm using Huddle, you have the ability to do incredible things. Like you can create highlight film and things like that to help with recruiting. And we'll get into that as well and how to do that, especially as you get a little bit older and it becomes much more relevant. But again, I'm more interested in the basketball part of it. So yeah. So just to let you know kind of what to expect, probably after every tournament. I'm going to be doing some analysis and sending it off to the coaches. And then I'm also going to do this video where I kind of, again, talk to everybody about what happened, what could have happened, what should have happened, and what needs to happen for success. So let's just get started. And I want to remind everybody, for those who were not here last year, the different numbers that we're going to be looking at throughout the course of the season. So from a team perspective, what we're going to be looking at is number one, effective field goal percentage, number two, turnover rate, and number three, offensive rebound percentage. We're going to be looking at these on a game by game basis and also during the season. Now, I've done research on hundreds and hundreds of games at your age group, and there are certain key numbers that we're going to need to shoot for. So for effective field goal percentage, now I really thought about this with you guys. So normally there's one team I give at 16s, I give one team a little bit more of a lofty goal than the other. But I am going to hold you guys to the same high standards as I hold the other team for, as the other team to. And what that's going to require is an effective field goal percentage of 50%. Now, let's talk about the numbers here for a second. So again, effective field goal percentage of 50% does not mean, you make 50% of your shots because it should be obvious that a 3-point basket is worth, 1.5 times a 2-point basket. So you get a little more credit for that, 50% more credit. So for example, if you take nothing but threes and you make 50% of them, your effective field goal percentage is not 50%, but it is 75%. Okay, because it's worth 1.5 times. And likewise, if you take nothing but threes, and you make 50% of those, excuse me, and you make 33% of those, then your effective field goal percentage is actually going to be 50% because 33% times 1.5 is 50. So what you're going to be looking for is effective field goal percentage of 50, and that is the number that's going to be needed for you to be competitive in the types of tournaments that Chris is going to have you play in. And that's just the way it is. Um, Turnover rate. Turnover rate, we're going to be looking at a number of about 15%. We have to keep your turnover rate below 15. If it's below 10, that's obviously great, but anywhere in the band of 10 to 15 is fine. An offensive rebound percentage, we want to be 30% or above. What that means is that, of the shots that you miss, you could scratch down about 30% of them. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. And then what we're going to do is we look at those numbers, and then what we do is pull up the shot chart to figure out whether the reason you made that effective field goal percentage or did not was based on poor shot selection or just bad shooting. And those are two completely different things. Bad shooting is not something you can fix like right away. I mean, that's something you got to train out, right? But bad shot selection is something that we can fix almost immediately. So let's just get started. Now, first of all, I want to say that you guys did awesome in these first two games. Now, I know it's easier for you to say that, okay, we weren't playing, the greatest teams, but the numbers kind of reflect that. In other words, there are ways to win an easy game playing well, and there are ways to win an easy game playing poorly. And in both of your games, you had very good metrics. And the idea is that these metrics should be able to travel over different levels of competition. It's not exactly the same because you're not going to be faced with the same quality of defense. But one thing that, and we'll talk about this one day, is that if you're good offensively, like there's nothing that a lot of teams can do about it, honestly. All right, that's for another discussion. So, first game, or I don't know if it's the first game or second game or two games, the one against Queen Defenders Kyle, we had an effective field goal percentage of 57%, which is perfect, well above the range. 10% turnover rate, which is excellent, and offensive rebound percentage of 51%, which is excellent. So, and these three things being what they are, that indicates that you're supposed to kick their butts, and you did. Okay. Now let's look at the shot chart for Crown versus QDK, and this is something that you're going to have to get used to. So, what we are looking for during the course of the season is for you guys to be shooting nothing but threes and layups. Okay. And this was figured out a long time ago. Okay. And everything else, like all of these mid-range shots, is analytical death. Okay. Like this, if you shoot too many of these shots in the long run, you will lose. Okay. And when I say you will lose, you will lose effective field goal percentage and you will not be putting yourself in the best position to win. And the reason why, I mean, not to get too much into this, but you guys shoot from these spots an average of about 38, 39% over the hundreds and hundreds of samples. And they're only worth 2 points. So why bother, right? If you're going to only shoot 40% and we're looking for an effective field goal percentage of 50, these 40% makes have to come from three to be worth it. And they're not, they're coming from two. So all of these shots we're going to need to wipe out. And your goal, my task to you is to give me perfect shot charts. That being shots with nothing but here, here, and here. And what you could do, let's just being with Huddle, is we could click through here and see like video highlights of these to make sure that they're actually bad twos. Because sometimes Huddle doesn't do the greatest job in characterizing them. So let's like click through here. For example, let's see. Let's see what this looks like. So this is Allen throwing it off. See, I think your just foot might have been. They thought. See, Huddle thought that this was not a three because of where this line was. So they gave you credit for the bad too. So we don't worry about that one. Let's take a look at the other one. Yeah, so that's actually not a bad two because you were not inside that 3-point line. Let's see this one. Yeah, so this is bad. Now, Finn, you should know better than this. Okay, you've been with me for a year, all right, or two. And we're going to look at this again. Okay, this is analytical death. I mean, this is never going to work. Okay. In the long run, you shoot shots like this, you are just throwing equity, to use in my business, throwing equity in the trash can. You cannot be shooting this from here. And not to mention that it's being contested. Like this is like literally the worst shot you can take, with the exception of being like with literally your foot on the line. So if you want an example, guys, and Finn, listen, I'm calling you out just because it's here. I mean, you played great all weekend, but this is death. You can't shoot from here. And so as coaches and as players, I mean, you could just go through all these and see like which of these are actually bad twos and which are just kind of like like this one. Okay. I don't care whether this goes in or not. This is not a shot you should be taking. See this one. Now, this is what I call an FCF, an effing crown floater, which I hate. It's worth 2 points. You're facing all kinds of contest. It's just kind of a nightmare. Let's look at this one. And that's not so great either, right? I mean, you see how I don't even care if it went in or not? I'm not even sure what happened. What's this? That's just a disaster. So what you're going to want to do, again, you can make use of these videos if you want to just see, like which of these shots you think as coaches are going to be acceptable or not. Like that's fine because I think it's actually a 3. And next time they're at a House of Sports, I'm going to send, Huddle a message and let them know. See, this is no good. Okay. It's not a layup. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you're getting a little contest too. So that's just not going to be a good shot. And you missed. Um, so if we can get rid of these, I mean, then you're really going to be in business. All right, let's take a look at the individuals from this game and see who did what. Everybody did really well, but okay, so actually from 3, you guys did not do particularly well. So Kyle, you were 0 for 3. So what you can do again, if you want some fun, is you could click this number, this link here, and see all of your 3-point shots, and see if you like that. So I think that's a good one because it's uncontested. And then let's take a look at this one. Let's see. I mean, I gotta let you take that, right? So no problem. Let's see this one. Yeah. So I mean, so your misses were not bad shots. Excuse me, not bad shot selection. There, you just shot them bad. That's not even a big deal. Okay. What else can we look at from this game? Alan, you had 3 turnovers. Well, I'll take a look at that. I mean, again, just to show you, you can do this. Let's see. Let's see Alan's turnovers. Okay. 1. And everybody's getting called out this season. Trust me. Let's see. Allen up. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. See this one? But you see how you can use this as a nice tool, right? Oh, that's an offensive foul, right? Oh, man, you killed this guy. Let's look at this again. I want to see this again. Here, let me go back to this. This poor guy's going to not recover from this. Look at this. Let's see this. Ready? Oof. I laid on. I don't mean to laugh. Okay. Anyway, all right. So overall, very, very good game. Just a few nitpicky things, but overall, very, very nice. All right, let's go on to the next game, and that would be the QDB game. It's a little different. Still another butt kicking. Take a look at overall 60 effective field goal percentage. I mean, this is awesome. This is great. 9% turnover rate, even below that 10%, and 55 offensive rebound percentage. This is what 60-point wins look like. Let's take a look though. Let's nitpick a little bit. We'll take a look at the shot chart and see. Let's just make sure there's no bad twos we want to get rid of. Okay, so there are 3 bad twos. Now, again, I'm being greedy because there's 64 shots taken. To only have 3 bad twos is not the end of the world. But why not? Let's get greedy. Why don't we get you some perfect shot charts? Let's see this one. Yeah, you don't, maybe that's not too bad, but again, you don't need to be taking that. If you can't get to the rim, just kick it out for three. That's what I would suggest. But what do I know? Let's see this one from over here, this side. Let's see this. Let's see. Ooh, just watch that line, Alan. Just make sure that you know what I mean. Sure you and listen, House of Sports is tough because you have all these different lines, but this is something you got to keep an eye on. All right, so overall shot chart good. Take a look at the inside the not Kyle, just the QDB game. Let's look at the individuals. I imagine this is all going to look pretty good. Three pointers. Colin was 1 for 5. So because of that, I mean, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the five attempts. Let's just see if they were good shots to take. See, I'll let you take that, I guess. The guy was sort of in your face, though. See, you got to be able to take that. Okay. Oh, that went in. Amazing, right? The best of the most uncontested one goes in. Let's see this. Nah, not so great. Guy's already closing out on you. All right, not too bad. Oh, you got to be able to take that. I mean, if I don't let you take that, then you're off the team, right? I mean, how bad do you have to be from three for me to not let you take that? So very nice, very very good. So let's now take a look at some individual stats that I want you guys to try to strive to achieve. Now, this is something we're going to track throughout the course of the whole season. That again, it's not going to look like much after 2 games because of a small sample size, but you'll see it kind of pile up. So these are the goals that I want you guys to strive for. Now, if I want you guys as a team to shoot 50% effective field goal percentage, then I think it's only fair that I have you all kind of contribute individually to that. So what I want you guys to be able to do for me, each of you, is to either be able to shoot 50% from two or 33% from three, because those correspond to a 50 effective field goal percentage. So either of those things is going to be good. Now, if you could do both, I mean, if you could get 50% from two and 33% from three, then you're in business. Okay. So, and if you could do that, you're probably gonna be one or two kids on the team that can do that. And that's really behaving efficiently. But let's just see. So, like, for example, like this is what I would look at throughout at the end of each tournament. Now, again, it's not going to look like much because it's only 2 games, but this is what I would look at. I'd say, okay, who's shooting 50% from two? I imagine almost all of you. Maybe not Colin or Kyle, but again, very small sample. And then I would say who's shooting 33% from three. And right now, only 3 of you. But again, we'll see what happens over the course of the season. But these are some individual things that you guys can strive for. So that's pretty much all I have. Obviously, not the greatest competition in the world, but I'm very, very happy with what you guys did in terms of shot selection. And I'm looking forward to seeing. Listen, I think you're going to have another player or two. You're not going to play with 6 guys the whole season. So we're going to see what you guys can do. And I'm really looking forward to tracking it. That's going to do it. Good luck, everybody.